Good morning, stamping friends. I hope you guys are doing well and had a great weekend. I'm doing pretty good, and I'm getting ready for a vacation. We are headed to Mexico for a week, so I am trying to get ahead of the game and get some of my projects done. The project I'm going to share with you today is one that's been in my head ever since I saw the holiday catalog, and the only thing is it takes a little bit more time, so just bear with me, but this is kind of a onesie. I would not make 120 of these, but these are fun for someone that may have a pet in their life that's really important to them. So I'm going to share with you what we're going to make. So I'm going to use the Filled with Cheer stamp set, although I'm not using a ton of stamps in here, but I still want to show this to you because I will be using some of them. And I'm also using, because I told you it's a pet card, there are going to be some dogs in here. And this stamp set is called Doggone Friendly right here. Isn't this cute? Oh my gosh, I love this one. I love that it's a background stamp. And also, I want to point out that we do not sell the Stamparatus anymore. But, you know, the company that makes this cute little pen or glue gun, My Sweet Petunia, they have a Misty. That was the originator of this concept, and so you can still get those. If you could use the link that I put in my blog and Facebook page, then I can get a little bit of credit for that, for advertising for them. But because we don't sell it anymore, we are allowed to tell you about the other products. So I still use my Stamparatus. It works just like the Misty. So what I did was, now the only thing with background stamps, if you want your whole piece of paper to be filled with ink and the stamped image like this, there's nowhere to put these magnets because, watch, if I put it here, it's not gonna stamp because this is in the way. So what I do is I use painter's tape, and then I just tape it down like that. And I know on this card, I'm not gonna use the top. I'm gonna cut it down, and I'm not gonna use the bottom, so it doesn't matter that that tape is on there. All right, the other thing with this little apparatus is that you want to put a case under here just so it's level. If you try inking it at an angle, the chances are pretty good you're going to get it around here where you don't want it. So I like to do that. And the reason that I am using this is sometimes with a larger background stamp, it is hard to get every little nook and cranny stamped. And so this way you can have a second try and a third try and a fourth try because you can keep stamping it. It won't move because this is on the acrylic block and then this is taped down. So you just keep stamping it, and then each time it'll get a little bit darker. So in case you miss one little corner, you don't have to start over again and waste paper. So I'm just going to ink this up and press on it, and then I'm not too worried if I miss a place because, like I said, I can go over it. All right, I want this a lot darker, and this is actually a sign that you need to re-ink your ink pad because it's really light. I have been stamping quite a bit, so let me grab my re-inker. I will give you a little lesson on re-inking. So this is a Memento ink pad. You always want to make sure that it matches, that you don't have stays on black, because the reason I know this is I have re-inked a wrong color on the ink pad for a color, and then I had to throw it away because there's no salvaging that. And stays on ink and Memento ink are very different. So Memento is what we use with blends. And then what I do is I just fill that with ink, and then I take the back of a plastic spoon and just rub it around like that, and that will get it to all the edges. And you'll see that it'll ink a lot darker. All right, so let's ink this up one more time. So you got a bonus lesson there on how to re-ink. I know most of you probably know, but there's always new people that are watching, and that way they can learn some of the basics as well. You can already see that it's going to be darker. And it'll go down in the exact same position that I had it. Nice. Okay, that's what I was looking for. All right, so now we just can lift up where the tape is. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it didn't ink at the bottom because I'm not going to use those edges. All right, move all this to the side. Now the next part, we are going to build our card, and what I want to do is I want to fill this wagon with dogs. So what I'm going to do is place this at the bottom, and I'm going to just kind of move this around to see where I want the dogs to start. They have to fit within the wagon. I don't want this one because his ear is cut off. I could possibly, yeah, you know what? I think I talked or thought about this before. I'm going to start down here And I want that for sure the Yorkie in, and this is how tall it can go. It can go a little bit higher. So let's see. So if the wagon's on here, I might have to cut him off. You just want to kind of move this around to see where you want it to go. I think the Yorkie is going to be as tall as we go, so we're probably going to have to go here like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out which dogs I need to color, and I will do that by putting an X over here. These aren't going to be used. And let's see how high I want it to go. This guy might be able to be used, so we'll go these. I don't think this German Shepherd's going to be able to be in there. Okay, and this guy's cut off, so we won't use him. Okay, so the reason I do that is because I do not want to color all of these. All right, so this next part, I am just going to start coloring, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm just going to color and cut. All right, this is just an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece of cardstock, scored in the middle on the 8.5 inch side, which makes it 4 1/4. And we're just gonna crease it. If you have your bone folder handy, just rub that along there like this. I always think I have all my supplies out and then I don't. All right, now I took the designer series papers from Take a Bow and decided which paper I wanted to do, and I'm going to add the multi-purpose liquid glue on here. This comes out nice and fine. You don't need a whole lot. And then that little rubber tip, remember at the bottom, just kind of clogs it for the time being. And you don't have to put the lid on every time you use it. But I do put the lid on at the end of the day for overnight. All right, so that is 5.5 by 4 1/4, so it fills the whole sheet. Then we're gonna grab some real red cardstock, and this is 4.5 by 3 1/4, and we are going to put basic white on here, and it's going to be 1/8 inch smaller, which makes that 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. Go ahead and glue that together, and now we're going to build the wagon on here. But before that, we need to make the wagon 3D. So I took the dies. The stamp set is called, let's see, Filled with Cheer, and the dies are called Filled with Fun. It actually coordinates with kind of a summary ones with birthday gifts and a banner, and it's more of an all occasion set, but we are using this more in a Christmas card. So this is really nice because it has kind of a wood grain here, and you want to put it on the dimensionals on the back side. I like to use my take your pick tool for this, and it's just easier to pick up these teeny tiny little dimensionals. And you don't want any hanging over. You might want to trim them down, but they do fit the exact size you need if you put them on, you know, like so that the edges don't hang over like that. And then we're just going to put that on the base of it, and by lifting this up, it just gives it a little more interest with dimension. I do like using dimensionals a lot. So we don't have our little Max anymore. We had a dog when we moved to Arizona. That was our bribery to get Brittany to want to move here. We never had a pet, and so we said, I think if we moved to Arizona, we could maybe get a pet. And then she was gung-ho on moving, but before that, she wasn't crazy about moving to Arizona. All right, so this is going to go right here, and we are going to pop this up as well. Just a couple dimensionals here. So anyway, we had a Yorkie, and he was it was a boy named Max. And you know how dogs have a pecking order? And, you know, they have their favorites and then they go to the next one. Well, poor Brittany, it was her dog and she was last on the pecking order. Max liked everyone except Brittany was the last one. I always think the dogs like whoever feeds them, but maybe that's not so. We're going to put the wheels on next. But tell me, who's the favorite of your pet in the family? So I fed Max and was with him the most. So he was kind of like my dog, even though maybe my family doesn't agree with me. But, oh, I miss him. But anyway, he got sick. He was 14 and just had lots of things wrong. And he ended up going blind and he fell in our pool and that's how he died. Oh, it's so sad. He was only blind about a month and then that happened. And I still to this day feel guilty because I should have been watching him, but he always just went to the bathroom and came right back. And so, you know, I could like run to the bathroom or whatever. He just went and right back by the window and I thought, he's not barking yet. Wonder what's going on. And in the pool he was. Oh, it was so sad. Let's see. Now I'm just kind of adding all the little doodads here. So these are all in the die set, and there's a lot of little pieces, but they're so fun. And of course you can see I'm not using traditional colors. I want this to be a Christmassy type card. So let's see, we're gonna add a couple more things on here and then we'll get those dogs on. I am gonna use another set of dimensionals. I'm really gonna pop these wheels up here and hopefully I won't need an extra stamp. I already know who I want to send this to, but as you can see, that coloring takes a bit. But if you have someone that loves a pet, this is the card to make them, and then just pick out which dog they have and highlight that one as you make it. And just remember, this is a Christmas. Otherwise, we wouldn't use green and red for the, well, we'd use red for the wagon. All right, I want to brighten this up so it's not all the same color. Oh, I know. I want another little embellishment here. I love these peppermints. This is my second pack that I'm on. Look at how many there are. Now you can see how many I've used, but I thought these would be perfect for the centers of the wheels. Probably could use a smaller one. But you get so many of them. Oh, and they've been back ordered so many times, but you just got to watch for when they come in. I usually post when they're in and just got to watch for that because once they're in, they don't take very long and they're gone again. All right, then I'm going to add a string of lights here. So let me grab my black ink again. And there's even a die for this. What's nice about the die set is with the other stamp set, the one I was telling you about that had gifts on it and banners and stuff, it has a die that will match this. You're going to see it's going to go down at an angle, kind of like a triangle, or it matches the banner in the other set. So they're so smart when they come up with the dies to make them coordinate with other products. So we're going to use, whoops, let me get the small end for this one. This is a teeny tiny. So we're going to use 3 colors. So every third one I'll color the same. There we go. All right, let me go die cut this and I'll be right back and we'll be ready to put that on. All right, now we can stick this on here. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue at the top. I'm not going to put dimensionals on this one. It's going to be a mile high if I keep adding. Just kind of center it on here. There, isn't that cute? I love Christmas lights. I like decorating with them. And baking, making some of my, one year I made cupcakes and I made a black string with black frosting and then I put the mini M&Ms on there, kind of stuck them halfway in the frosting and they looked like lights. They were so cute. All right, let's stick these dogs in the focal point, but we don't want to go off the card. That's why I'm a little bit worried about that German Shepherd back there. We'll see if he fits. So we're going to put this on the front, and I probably should stamp before I put it in, but I'm not sure if my sentiment will fit once I get all the dogs on. So maybe we'll kind of place it first. All right, so we're going to stick these. Oh, man, it is way too tall. So this German Shepherd is history. Bummer. Okay, now we know. And so let me do a little more fussy cutting here. today's card, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any products that you're interested in, I always put my host code up here, and if you place a $50 order and use the host code, I will send you a gift of Stampin' Up! Product as my way of saying thank you, along with a thank you card. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye, everyone.